Hi everyone, and welcome to our first official day of hied 552 Student Affairs Practice. I'm really looking forward to the next 8 weeks together as we talk about student affairs, as you learn about different functional areas, and we just actually get a better understanding for what this work is about. And so if you talk to someone that works in higher education who's a real seasoned professional, oftentimes you'll hear them say, my path was not linear. I ended up in several different areas before I settled where I am right now. And so I hope you'll be encouraged by that, not afraid of that, but actually realize that sometimes when you get to the opportunity to try different areas, it really shapes who you are and it gives you a better understanding and appreciation for other areas that you will partner with for this end goal of really developing students and seeing them grow. So this week, our first week, there's a lot to read. There's so much in terms of giving you a good understanding for how the work of student affairs got started, the student personnel point of view, principles of good practice, the student learning imperative. All these documents were formational in terms of saying we have to develop the whole student. We can't just consider their academic success, their pursuit in the classroom. There's a lot that goes on beyond the classroom, and as co-curricular educators, it's an important opportunity to support students in their emotional development, their spiritual development, their physical development, all these pieces that go into the college experience. And so I hope as you read through those that you'll see how much has changed in higher education in terms of adding and really giving a focus to student affairs, that these student support roles that a lot of you will end up hopefully pursuing and enjoying and finding real fulfillment in that side of education. And so the book that we'll be using is by Shu, Jones, and Torres, and it's Student Services, a Handbook for the Profession. And that is going to look at a lot of different topical areas, and you'll see that the modules, the 8 weeks that we cover, will highlight some of those pieces from that book. So you'll want to make sure you get that. Each week we'll be doing discussions, and for some of you you're very used to this, very comfortable with this, but others of you it might be one of your first times taking a online class, and so I just wanted to make sure that I reiterate to you, and maybe you've taken online classes but with other faculty, so I just want to let you know that with the expectation for those discussions is that the first post would be around 300 to 350 words. So if you submit something that's 400 and 500 words, I'll probably say to you, you need to cut it down. You need to pare this down. And then if you submit something under that, I'll do the same thing. Like you'll need to write more and develop your thoughts a little bit further. So then after you submit your initial post by Wednesday, you have till Saturday to respond to your peers. And in these 2 posts that you're responding, and some of you may post more, and that's great, but the minimum of 2 is going to be about 100 to 150 words. And so it's not just a short, I agree with what you're saying, this is, like I really appreciate this. It's actually maybe responding to somebody and incorporating the resources back into your response. So you'll actually cite the works that you've been talking about further. So just want to keep that in mind as you're participating in these discussions, that that's kind of on your radar as you're writing your posts and your response posts. We will also have a conference presentation proposal. Now I know that some of you, this is going to be very intimidating and sort of overwhelming, but I guarantee this will be very helpful for you professionally to get this sort of like try this out, gets in as an exercise. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You're not actually submitting it, but I'll be able to give you some feedback and say, this is a great idea, but have you thought about this? Or I love this idea. I think you should absolutely submit it for a conference and see if it is accepted. So that's a really important part of the profession, and your growth and your professional growth is attending conferences and presenting and being able to offer something to other colleagues in the field about the good work that's happening on your campus. So that will be an assignment that we'll be doing a little bit later into the course. You'll also be doing an informational interview, and this is kind of part of several classes that I teach. I think it's really important to spend time with people who are seasoned, who are in the profession, and have really good advice and ideas to share with you. It's also a great way to connect with people in the field, and sometimes you sit down with an informational interview and you ask them questions and they say, I really enjoyed our time together, let's connect in the future. And so it can turn into a mentoring relationship, it can just be a point of connection, but that's just really valuable. So that's why that is written into this course as one of the assignments that you'll be doing. So you'll interview that person and you will write a reflection incorporating, I think, 3 references into that paper, and then you'll submit that on Canvas. The major project in this class is a paper and presentation on a student affairs functional area. And you'll see that there is a place to submit 3 possible topic areas of a functional area you might be interested in looking at. I highly recommend that you try to study an area where you're not very familiar. And so it may be that you submit 3, and then I end up having to say, we've got other people looking at these topical areas, would you consider something else? There's so many to look at. But the idea is that you all would be able to teach each other as well about these different functional areas. And so you'll be looking at various facets. You'll see the rubric on Canvas for this, but basically really highlighting several different areas within that functional area and then presenting out to your classmates toward the end of the 8 weeks, and then also turning in a final paper where you talk about all these pieces within the functional area that you're studying. The other piece I want to highlight is that we will have a Zoom session coming up, so make sure you mark your calendars for that, and you'll be assigned to either 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. That's Eastern Standard Time, and if you are not able to do the time that you've been assigned to and you want to try to switch with a later time, their list of names is listed there, so just reach out to somebody in the other group and see if you guys can look at possibly switching times. So anyways, it'll be a great way to connect on Zoom, and then we'll do that here coming up soon. If at any point you have questions or you'd like to reach out and just talk to me one-on-one, I'm available by email, or we can talk on the phone, or we can connect over Zoom if you'd like to do that. So just please keep me posted. I'll be available. And I'm very excited. I really, really love this class because it's just so exploratory. It gives you an opportunity to hear such practical information and from people who are really working in the field. One thing I'm really excited about for this class that I've added in since the last time I taught it was some highlighting some professionals in the field. I have some, we call them practitioner spotlights, and these are folks that I've connected with and said, hey, do you mind if I do a short interview with you and ask you about your work in student affairs? And they've all been so gracious and have some really good pieces of just advice, wisdom, experiences that they're willing to share. And so these are not necessarily something you'll be graded on, but it's really going to be a great resource. So I hope you'll take the time to watch those videos as they come up over the next couple of weeks, because I think they'll just really enhance your learning in this class. So thank you so much. I'm really excited. As you can tell, I've said that several times, but it's very sincere. And so if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. I will be giving you all weekly videos kind of recapping what we're talking about and maybe highlighting some of the topics we're discussing. So thank you so much, and I look forward to connecting with you very soon.